All right, so GameStop just dropped their 8K form today, and it has tons of information about PSA, Nat Turner, how much he owns of PSA, what the incentive structures look like. One huge announcement, and it also peels back the curtain on how much revenue the PSA GameStop partnership has generated so far. All right, so first and most importantly, it looks like Nat Turner, effective today, was just named to the board of directors of GameStop, which kind of makes logical sense. You could see the beginnings of this in their partnership. I don't know if all of you know, but now several, if not all, GameStops actually allow submissions of graded cards, and people are kind of poo-pooing on the idea. I actually thought it was amazing because it spreads PSA's footprint and I think expands card collecting into places where people aren't really thinking about it. Most people don't know that PSA exists unless they're deep into it like us, but they know eBay exists. So tapping into GameStop, I always thought was a good play for the wider market, the younger market, and I think it was awesome. So it looks like Nat is doubling down. He's going to be on the board. He's going to receive no compensation for the board seat, which I thought was interesting. But here's the really cool information if you dive into this thing. It says that Mr. Turner also owns up to a 10% equity interest in PSA and has been awarded additional unvested equity compensation awards at collectors, which are subject to the forfeiture, blah, 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 blah. So basically, he owns 10% of PSA, which is great. Obviously, that is a chunk of this holding company. We don't know the total percentage of that. I think the last valuation for collectors was 4.3 billion, and they were doubling. They haven't needed any finance rounds since that $100 million injection, so we don't have a current valuation. I imagine it's significantly higher, if not double. So that's interesting. The other point that's interesting in this 8K is that the collaboration between GameStop and PSA, which started like a month ago, has already generated $1.53 million in revenue, which I think is very interesting. I know it seems like that's a drop in the bucket for a company this size, but if you're only doing a few thousand stores and maybe it's 6,000 and you've done $1.53 million across all of them, they're getting some graded card submissions. That's for damn sure. So good on them. Very interesting. So, just to summarize, Nat Turner's got a board seat, no compensation. We now know how much of PSA Nat Turner owns. Obviously, you can scale that up based on performance, but I thought that's interesting. We know how much the partnership is currently valued at. So if we take a run rate, I'm going to make up numbers here on the fly, but let's just say they did 6,000 stores and it's been 1 month. Then this is what's 12 times 1.53 million, right? So about 15 million bucks a year in revenue from this partnership that helps both brands. So I had said early on that this was a good play. I know a lot of people kind of crapped on it, but it looks like it's paying dividends. So very, very interesting. I'm going to follow this one closely. I love when 8Ks drop because this is real information between the companies that's filed to the SEC. This is not made up. It's only a couple pages, but I will link it in the description in case you want to check it out for yourself. But it's a couple powerful pages that tell us a lot about what's going on between PSA and GameStop. All right. Thanks, everyone.